So Hugo, thanks for talking to us. We're in the barn where you keep most of your good fillies, so if you could give us a bit of an oversight as to them all, that'd be fantastic. We're standing here next to Unforgettable Filly. This is where Covert Love used to stand?
Yeah, this is she's Unforgettable Filly is the second classic winner that we've had standing in this box. So it'll be hopefully looks like a lucky box. Unforgettable Filly won the Group 2 German 1,000 guineas this year. And she is going to head to the Matron Stakes and Irish Champions weekend, where she's going to have to meet a whole host of stars, but hopefully it'll be a nice preparation for her to head to the Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Stakes at Keeneland on the 14th of October, which will hopefully suit her down to the ground.
She's obviously been abroad to win her classic. How does she deal with the travel?
Well, she's very lucky in that she's owned by Dr. Ali Reader, who's part of the Rabba banner, and all sort of underneath the Godolphin team. So she was able to get a plane ride from Stansted to Düsseldorf, which isn't far from Düsseldorf racecourse. So she took it very well, and as you can see, she's a big, strong filly, daughter of Sepoy, homebred by her owner, and she's been a really exciting filly for a year now, and she was second on debut at Newmarket. The horse that finished third behind her was Sabetsu. So there's two group winners. Obviously a pretty strong Newmarket maiden.
She ran really well domestically. How pleased were you that she finally got the classic to her name?
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I think she was a bit disappointing in the 1,000 guineas. Because she ran so well to finish second in the Nell Gwyn, and I didn't expect her to win the guineas, but I thought she should have been much closer than she was. There was too much of a gap between her and the main protagonists, and I think she just must have run a little bit below par, because we went to Musselburgh for their listed race a couple of weeks later, and she was very strong through the line there, and then stepping up to the mile for the first time, well, successfully for the first time, rather, having run in the guineas in Germany, and she hit the line really well there too.
If we just think about some of the other fillies that we've got in here, we've got Vintage Folly, I believe, over your shoulder.
Vintage Folly is there, yeah. She, just on her second start, she went to the Musidora at York, where she finished second in soft ground. That she really does like the soft ground. Second to Shutter Speed, which was very exciting. She was then disappointing in France, but she's had a break since then, has come back really well, and we're looking forward to an autumn campaign with her. Obviously, being group placed, it's now important that she wins a stakes race, but her work has suggested that she should be up to that, and she's in the Kipco Fillies and Mares Champions race on Champions Day at Ascot. And so if she's a stakes winner by the time we get there, then so we'd let her take her chance for all that money in a Group 1. Yeah, poor Architecture. She had a setback in the spring, but she seems well over it now and has been cantering for quite some time. Very happy with how she's going. She's much bigger and stronger than she's ever been. She again, having of course been second in last year's Oaks, second in the Irish Oaks, and third in the German Oaks. It's very important for her that she gets big black type and wins a stakes race. So she'll be starting in a listed race hopefully in about 4 or 5 weeks' time, possibly the John Musker at Yarmouth, or there's a listed race at Goodwood, whose name escapes me, and there's one I think here at Newmarket as well. So she's got 3 options in the last 10 days of September, and if she managed to become a stakes winner in one of those, then she too would head to Ascot. She's got the great advantage that she goes on any ground. Well, I think there's an awful lot of opportunities for fillies. There's a very good stakes programme both here and in Europe, and opportunities to run nice fillies, and there's such value in breeding stock and in black type fillies that you can very easily buy attractive athletic fillies for not a vast amount of money, that if you can get black type with them, you can really turn a serious profit with them, and that to owners is very appealing. And often, the same sort of athleticism for a colt and strength for a colt, exactly the same horse, just male rather than female. As a yearling, rather than paying maybe 30 or 40 grand, you might have to pay double that because of the perceived resale value of colts to the Far East, and that's often what has driven, I think, the value of the colts. But fillies don't have that. But if you can get black type, if they are, above average, then you can turn, huge profits with them, which can be very, very good news.
And finally, are there any fillies that the viewers should be adding to their notebooks to keep an eye on?
Well, they're not really secrets because they've both got a Group 1 entry. But there's a filly by Cityscape called Momentarily, who by the time this is seen will have already run. She runs today in a very strong-looking maiden at Yarmouth, and we've got a Camelot filly called Mystic Meg, who's also in the Fillies Mile, who's a lovely big filly. She's done everything that I'd ask of her, and I'd be dreaming that one of them at least might turn into that Group 1 performer, but at this stage it's a little bit of a dream.